Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Psalms, the 40th chapter. God sustains his servant. So this is Psalms 40 and 1 to the chief musician, a psalm of David. I waited patiently for the Lord Yahweh, and he inclined unto me and heard my cry. He brought me up also out of an horrible pit, out of the miry clay, and set my feet upon a rock, and established my goings. So now, an horrible pit or miry clay, is likened onto a dangerous situation, right? A pit that is deep. If you're not careful, you can die in there, and that miry clay. So basically, what David is saying here is the Lord delivered him, right, and set him upon a rock, a safe place, and established his goings. Okay, took care of him, guides him, protects him, and likewise for us. Okay, it says here, he hath put a new song in my mouth. And so what is that new song? Now, even though David is saying this, he's saying it in the spirit. Okay, and so likewise, in application to us now, what would be an example of putting the new song in our mouth, right? Even praise unto God. Many shall see it and fear and shall trust in the Lord. See? So let's get a precept real quick on the new song. Here in the book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 3. And I actually start at 1. It says, and I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. And that's the elect, right? Not the completion of them, but a portion of the elect. That's 144,000. And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung a new song as it were, or they sung as it were a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. So what is that song that the 144,000 learned? This doctrine, this truth. It's likened onto a song, and singing it is another way of saying that they're teaching it or speaking it. Okay, so that's that new song, right? He has put a new song in my mouth, even praise unto our God. Many shall see it, right? Are we not declaring, and teaching many? And fear and shall trust in the Lord. And you have people that are, out there, right, that are of the elect, that are hearing this word and they're trusting in the Lord. Verse 4, blessed is the man that maketh the Lord Yahweh his trust, and respecteth not the proud, nor such as turn aside to lies. Okay, let's read this in the NLT. Basically, you abstain from those perverse ways. Oh, the joys of those who trust in the Lord, who have no confidence in the proud, or in those, it's like it says, or in those who worship idols. So like your one second. Or in those who worship idols, right? And blessed are you, because you abstain from the ways that will make you filthy, and you can then stay within the bounds, the protection, and the love of the Lord. If you stay away, right, from such as turn aside to lies or to idols. Many, O Lord, many, O Lord Yahweh, my God, are thy wonderful works, which thou hast done, and thy thoughts, which are to usward, they cannot be reckoned up in order unto thee. If I would declare and speak of them, they are more than can be numbered. You see? So it basically, like the the works of the Lord, the wonders of the Lord, as it says, the wonderful works and thoughts that he has to us ward is innumerable. And that's why I mentioned, right, happy is the man that maketh the Lord his trust. It's like hitting the jackpot. It gets no better. Right? They cannot be reckoned. They can't be recorded in order unto thee. If I was to declare and speak of them, it's too much. It's more than I can number. Sacrifice and offering thou didst not desire. mine ears hast thou opened. Burnt offering and sin offering hast thou not required. You see, and here, right, the Apostle Paul quotes the psalm in a reference to Yahushua. Let's go there real quick to the book of Hebrews, and it's going to explain why it said sacrifice and offerings, thou hast not desire in that. Hebrews 10:5, wherefore, when he cometh into the world, he saith, sacrifice, and who is this? Yahushua, right? And what did he say? Sacrifice and offering thou wouldest not, but a body thou hast prepared me. So the Lord didn't want the sacrifice of, bulls and animals. He wanted the sacrifice of Yahushua. So he prepared him a body, right, which Yahushua came on the earth, through his parents, right, Mary and Joseph. And that body was formed for Yahushua to dwell in. And that body was likened unto the sacrifice or the lamb. Okay, in burnt offerings and sacrifices for sin, thou hast had no pleasure. You see that? Then said I, lo, I come, in the volume of the book it is written of me, to do thy will, O God. So going back to Psalm 40:6, it's not the sacrifice and offerings, right, after the Levitical priesthood, the sacrifice of bulls and rams that the Lord desired, but rather the sacrifice of Yahushua. That's why it says, sacrifice and offering thou didst not desire, mine ears hast thou opened. See, now I understand that it's rather the sacrifice of Yahushua. Burnt offering and sin offering hast thou not required. Because at the time when of David, right, during the time of King David, sacrifices were still a thing. Okay, they sacrificed unto the Lord, and it pleased him. See, verse 7. Then said I, lo, I come, in the volume of the book it is written of me. Right, and that's what Paul was quoting. We just read that in Hebrews 10. And that's that. When you go all throughout the Psalms, the law, you're gonna find instances of Yahushua, because it is written of him. Verse 8, I delight to do thy will, O my God. Yea, thy law is within my heart. And what that means is it's constantly on your mind, the ways of the Lord. And that leads you to walk in those ways, right? To meditate in it, to lead you and guide you down the right path. I have preached righteousness in the great congregation. Lo, I have not refrained my lips. O Lord, thou knowest. Let's see what we get when we cross-reference this. We'll see what comes up. Okay, nothing too crazy, but ultimately, as it says, I have preached righteousness in the great congregation, which Yahushua did that as well, right? And then he commanded his disciples to continue in that. Okay, verse 10, I have not hid thy righteousness within my heart. I have declared thy faithfulness and thy salvation. See, did Yahushua not do that as well? I have not concealed thy loving kindness and thy truth from the great congregation. And who was that? Israel. Withhold not thou thy tender mercies from me, O Lord Yahweh. Let thy loving kindness and thy truth continually preserve me. See, so how does the truth of the Lord continually preserve you? Well, in the truth of the Lord, right, there are ways, one, to please the Lord, but ways to live by. And when you do those, you get blessings, right? You're preserved. It keeps you out of harm's way. It's like a guiding light. See, so in keeping the way of truth, in keeping the Lord's truth, that action in itself preserves you. Okay, verse 12, it says, for innumerable evils have compassed me about, and mine iniquities have taken hold upon me, so that I am not able to look up. They are more than the hairs of mine head. So he's saying here the evils, and the iniquities, right? The the wickedness, the things that I may be guilty of, they're all taking hold on me, right? The consequences of my past actions. And it's so much, it's like the number of hairs on my head. That's another way of saying innumerable, right? Therefore, my heart faileth me. I am in distress. Be pleased, O Yahweh, to deliver me. O Lord, make haste to help me. And it's key that he said that, because if it doesn't please the Lord to deliver you, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that you're not going to be delivered at that point now, does it? So, oh Yahweh, make haste to help me. And that's what we hope, right? We pray that the Lord helps us speedily, in our time of distress, and ultimately that he brings this speedy deliverance for us. Let them be ashamed and confounded together that seek after my soul to destroy it. Let them be driven backward and put to shame, right? Driven backward meaning, to retreat, to fall back, put them to shame that wish me evil. Okay, and here, this is going to be by the Lord defending, because it's the Lord that glorifies and the Lord that puts to shame. And how are they going to be confounded in judgment? Let them be destroyed or desolate for a reward of their shame that say unto me, aha, aha. See, so let their reward, the punishment that comes on them be desolation. That mocked me, right? That came after me, that persecuted me, right? Saying, aha, aha. Let all those that seek thee rejoice and be glad in thee. Let such as love thy salvation say continually, the Lord be magnified. All right. And do we not love the Lord's salvation? We think about it day and night. Okay, so I said, let all those that seek thee rejoice and be glad. Let such as love thy salvation say continually, the Lord be magnified, right? Praising the Lord. But I am poor and needy, yet the Lord thinketh upon me. Thou art my help and my deliverer. Make no tarrying, O my God. And that brings us to the end of the book of Psalms, the 40th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.